This video examines how value is created from intangible assets, specifically, how modern markets assign price to digital property. We explore how individuals have earned millions by selling assets with no physical form. This is documented, including invisible art, digital images reproducible by anyone, even air. This program investigates a distinctive facet of modern economics, where ideas and provenance can surpass tangible goods in price. Over the next 15 minutes, we present 8 real-world cases of wealth created from assets you cannot physically hold. It may sound unlikely, but the evidence is clear and instructive. This is not a passing internet fad. It is a study in psychology, technology, and marketing. How does a tweet command $2.9 million, or $2.4 million for land that exists only in a virtual world? First, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. They are unique digital records of ownership recorded on a public blockchain. Think of the certificate that accompanies a famous painting, like the Mona Lisa. It proves a singular, verifiable claim of ownership. An NFT is the digital equivalent of that provenance certificate, linked to a specific file, but distinct from the file itself. On the blockchain, that token is a unique entry in a shared, tamper-resistant ledger, stating, in effect, this address owns this token. Anyone can view or download the image. The NFT records ownership of the original, verified token. That verification, scarcity plus provenance, is what commands high prices. In March 2021, Beeple's Every Days, the first 5,000 days, over 5,000 images compiled, reached auction. It sold at Christie's as an NFT with documented provenance. Final price, approximately $69 million. The artwork itself remains viewable online. The token confers ownership and provenance. In this market, buyers acquire verifiable scarcity, cultural context, and status. Demand accelerated across creators, collectors, and brands. Crucially, value extended beyond the image to the network around it, community, and reputation. Holding certain NFTs functioned like access passes to private groups, events, and collaborations. In short, buyers weren't purchasing pixels. They were purchasing authenticated ownership and identity. Next, a formal look at virtual real estate. Property that exists inside online three-dimensional environments. In recent years, parcels in these environments have sold for multi-million-dollar sums, despite having no physical presence. This market is commonly referred to as virtual real estate. Picture a large, persistent 3D world, often called a metaverse, where users navigate neighborhoods, venues, and districts. Within these worlds, the map is divided into a finite set of parcels, creating digital scarcity by design. Each parcel is recorded as a unique token on a blockchain, enabling verifiable ownership and transfer. Owners can buy, hold, lease, and sell these plots, much like domain names or other digital assets. Notably, in 2021, a single plot in a leading platform was reported to have sold for approximately $2.4 million. In practice, a parcel represents coordinates and associated rights within a platform, codified in software rather than physical land. Purchasers include individuals and firms specializing in digital assets and infrastructure. Their thesis: future user attention will cluster in these environments, where traffic, events, and commerce can be aggregated. If that occurs, platforms may monetize through leases, advertising inventory, ticketed venues, and branded experiences. Major brands have piloted storefronts and event spaces, primarily as experiments in reach and engagement. Use cases include advertising, e-commerce pop-ups, live events, and community hubs that attract recurring footfall. As in physical real estate, location matters. Parcels near high-traffic nodes tend to command higher prices. Proximity to branded districts, transport portals, or event venues often correlates with premium valuations. Overall, pricing reflects engineered scarcity, network effects, and speculation. As the sector evolves, long-term utility and sustained demand will determine outcomes. We've seen fortunes spent on digital images and virtual land. Now, we turn to artworks that exist primarily as ideas and agreements. Not an image, not a file. The immaterial artwork. The object is absence. The value is shaped by context. This is conceptual art. Art as proposition. Artists don't sell a painting or a sculpture. They sell an idea, authenticated by documents and instructions. Major auctions and museums have traded and exhibited such works. Collectors pay for authorship, provenance, and rights to realization. Picture a gallerist indicating an empty plinth and saying, "This is the piece." Its presence is defined by space, light, and agreement. A collector acquires it, and the certificate of authenticity records authorship, edition, and conditions for display. This is documented practice. In 2021, Salvatore Garau sold an invisible sculpture titled Io Sono for more than $15,000, accompanied by a signed certificate. He described it as air and spirit, activated by the viewer. What transfers is the certificate, installation notes, and provenance. Earlier, Yves Klein's zones of immaterial pictorial sensibility formalized this idea. Buyers paid in gold, received a receipt, and during a ritual some burned the receipt as Klein cast gold into the Seine. The performance completed the exchange. A deliberate meditation on value, ownership, and immateriality enacted as performance. Here, provenance, narrative, and ritual give form and price to the unseen. It places today's digital certificates within a longer lineage of immaterial art. Documentation, site, and audience participation complete the work. Collectors steward a concept, rather than an object. Okay, let's examine virtual item economies inside video games, a space involving billions of players worldwide. Consumers spend thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, of real dollars on assets that exist only within game ecosystems. Specifically, cosmetic skins, character outfits, and item models. These items are intangible, yet certain rare cosmetics command prices exceeding many physical goods. The global market for virtual items generates billions of dollars in transactions each year. In many titles, cosmetic skins alter appearance only. They provide no competitive advantage. Ultra-rare, limited-issue cosmetics have sold for six figures, individual items valued above $150,000. Motivations center on status signaling and digital identity. Highly visible, scarce cosmetics function as status goods, analogous to luxury branding. Players invest significant time, while publishers design scarcity-driven systems, drop rates, limited releases, that shape demand. By releasing a limited number of rare items, studios enable active secondary markets where prices float based on supply and demand. Platforms collect transaction fees or marketplace commissions on resales, scaling revenue from high-velocity trading of digital goods. Ownership becomes part of a player's persona, signaled through usernames, profiles, lobbies, and social presence. Ultimately, perceived value emerges from community norms, scarcity, and provenance, markers of achievement and commitment. This next case is minimalist branding done right. What if a company built its entire identity around absence, around making technology feel like nothing? Meet Nothing, an industrial design brand with a transparent point of view. From day one, they contrasted a generic black slab with transparent hardware that reveals structure and intent. Minimalism became differentiation, restraint as a market signal. They don't just sell a device, they sell a philosophy: clarity, reduction, and focus. The design language is transparency, exposed components, graphic glyph lighting, and clean typography. The product aims to disappear in use, to feel like nothing while communicating just enough. The launch playbook: controlled reveals, sparse palettes, measured copy, and tight visual systems. Invite-only drops and limited runs, engineered scarcity and earned status without noise. The signature glyph light interface on the back created an iconic silhouette, and a tactile notification language. In a sea of black rectangles, instant recognition becomes brand equity. Owning Phone 1 signaled taste and design literacy, identity over spec sheets. The lesson: align product truth, visual language, and disciplined story. Sell the idea and the hardware follows. Alright, we're looking at meme cryptocurrencies, coins that began as internet jokes and later drew real markets. two engineers launched Dogecoin as a lighthearted project, using a Shiba Inu meme to parody crypto culture. They adapted existing open-source code, shipped quickly, and offered no grand utility, yet an online community formed around the joke. The appeal was tone and community, a playful, low-stakes culture rather than a serious financial vision. For years, prices hovered at fractions of a cent, with limited attention beyond niche forums. Then momentum arrived. Online communities amplified the meme, and high-profile tweets from a major tech CEO drove bursts of attention. Each post coincided with sharp spikes in price. Early holders, on paper, saw dramatic gains during those surges. Fear of missing out, often called FOMO, spread quickly as many speculated that small bets might multiply. At the peak, Dogecoin's market value approached around $90 billion, briefly eclipsing established companies. Copycat meme coins followed, each promising community, virality, and rapid upside, flooding exchanges with new tickers. Typical playbook: craft a narrative, grow a community, pay for promotion, time announcements, and encourage long holding, known as HODL, short for hold on for dear life. Many surged and then retraced. Volatility remained extreme, and prices often fell sharply as attention rotated away. The broader lesson is about narrative, community, and liquidity, not financial advice, and how belief can drive large but risky market moves. Alright, if selling a JPEG sounded wild, we're now talking about selling literal air. People can put air from a specific place into a sealed can and sell it as a novelty. Souvenirs and gag gifts that sometimes fetch real money. The pitch is simple: cleanly capture and seal the authentic air. Add provenance, date, location, batch, and a label that certifies where it came from. You're not just buying air, you're buying a story and a memory. It's the ultimate conversation piece souvenir. Put a can labeled Grand Canyon Air on your shelf, and everyone will ask about the trip behind it. It's taking the most abundant resource and turning it into a limited edition keepsake. Now, push that idea further. You can buy an acre of land on the moon, sold as a collectible deed. Companies offer a printed certificate with coordinates on a lunar map, purely for novelty, so you can point to your spot. Legally, these deeds have no property rights. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967 bars national appropriation, and private ownership claims aren't recognized. So, what are you buying? A printed document, a collectible, a novelty gift with a great story. And it works because it's romantic. Owning a symbolic piece of the cosmos taps into curiosity and wonder. It doesn't stop at the moon. There are deeds for Mars, Venus, and more, all positioned as collectibles. The value isn't in the land or the air. It's in the document, the label, and the story you get to tell. Non-legal collectibles that prove how nothing can be packaged and sold. Next, a formal look at domain names, the web's addressing system, and why certain names command extraordinary prices. A domain is a human-readable label mapped to an IP address, essentially a string like example.com. It isn't a physical asset or complex software. It's a pointer in the DNS that routes users to a destination. The right name can be economically significant due to memorability, direct navigation, and conversion impact. This is a mature secondary market with transparent sales and established pricing norms. Offline, location matters. Online, the domain is the locator. It defines how users and search engines find you. In the 1990s, investors registered generic category names early. Terms like business, insurance, hotels, and diamonds, anticipating future demand. A domainer ecosystem emerged. Registration, holding, and resale through brokerages, auctions, and private deals. Outcomes vary widely. Some low-cost registrations appreciate dramatically. Many never find a buyer. Core value drivers, brevity and clarity, exact match keywords with commercial intent, strong TLD, .com leads, brandability, clean legal status, relevant search demand and type in traffic. Notable benchmark: Voice.com sold for $30 million in 2019. Category-defining names signal authority, improve recall, and capture direct navigation, all of which can justify premium pricing. As new sectors appear, new keywords gain value. With low annual renewals and active marketplaces, high-value resales continue. So, we have examined NFT receipts, virtual land, canned air, and premium domain names. What do these examples demonstrate about value in the digital economy? That many high-value assets are intangible, records, claims, and permissions only. They lack physical substance, often practical utility, and sometimes enforceable ownership rights. Yet markets assign large prices when narrative, social consensus, and engineered scarcity align. The central drivers are narrative credibility, community participation, status signaling, and controlled supply. As activity digitizes, value shifts from atoms to information, coordination mechanisms, and access. Rights to attention, identity, and provenance become the scarce resources. It concentrates in ideas, networks, cultural relevance, reputation, and attention. Perception increasingly sets price signals. Materiality is often secondary. For you, seek credible stories with aligned incentives and real constraints on supply, then measure risk. If this analysis helped, please subscribe for more evidence-based breakdowns.